Welcome to the Steve Reeve Podcast with the best moments from the past week and a few things that didn't make it to air. Monday.
Bad Bunny is who we're talking about. The halftime show yesterday. Very cool transformation for the field. Wasn't quite sure where it was going when it opened up with the shot of an actual field. I was like, have we left the stadium? Oh, no. Okay, we're back. So many people helping to tell a story over the course of, 15 minutes or so. And not just people that were being the extras and the dancers and things, but he had help from Lady Gaga singing the Joker 2 song for some reason. And Ricky Martin as well appearing again. He's looking quite good. That voice is incredible. Both of those two bringing the singing chops that Bad Bunny maybe doesn't quite have. But still, he brought a party. He brought a bunch of Latino people together, including a pile of famous faces. I could have sworn I saw Pedro Pascal in there for a second. I also pointed out that one of the girls in the crowd was Jessica Alba, and my partner now has convinced herself that Alba is a vampire because she has not aged in 20 years. Maybe she's younger now. She's Benjamin Buttoning it. It's bizarre. But I digress. I got a little distracted by Jessica Alba. Wouldn't be the first time. Back to the big game 60. I think I'm allowed to say the name now again. Very weird. But the halftime show ended on a message of love, which I definitely appreciated. A sense of togetherness here in the Western Hemisphere. How often does that happen? We're all together in the Americas. Bad Bunny even rattled off the names of every American country. I could practically feel the Canadians around me in the world going, who, me? Me? Oh, they're talking about me. Honey, they're talking about me. When we got our name drop right at the end there, right? Canada. Very cool. But what a revelation after the halftime show when we saw that all those bushes were actual people. I mean, that makes sense. The shimmying off the field to get back to the gameplay. It just felt kind of like a weird trip. So imagine how people who were actually there tripping in the audience at the time were feeling, just turning to their friend like,
the elves began it. Waking up the trees, teaching them to speak.
Dude, just watch the game. Congrats to the Seahawks, by the way, of course.
You're listening to the Steve Reeve Podcast from 100.5 Cruz FM.
It's time for Cruz Music News with Steve Reeve.
Big game yesterday, the 60th, of course, and Bad Bunny with a big halftime show that we did discuss this morning already. Green Day we didn't even get into. They were there at the opening of the show to celebrate with the opening ceremony, to play a medley of their hugest hits near to their hometown of East Bay. Not quite there, but near to, in Santa Clara. History tribute being paid to the 60 years of the Super Bowl so far. And yeah, they had a lot of fun doing it. People watching had as well a lot of fun. Some people saying, maybe Green Day for the next halftime show. But I mean, so many suggestions. People also losing their minds about Dave Grohl appearing at the game. And people saying, well, he's there already. Why not just book him? Why not just make it happen? With the Foo Fighters in tow. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to take a while before they announce the next one. Unfortunately, though, we do have a trio of sad news stories in music news this morning. Brad Arnold, the lead singer of Three Doors Down, Grammy-nominated band, died on Saturday. He had been diagnosed months ago with stage 4 kidney cancer. He died at the age of 47. The band made a statement after his death that he was peaceful and surrounded by loved ones in his sleep after his battle. As well, Greg Brown, one of the founding members of the band Cake. He was there heavily over the first couple of albums. He was a guitarist with the band. He died as well, unfortunately passing away after what was described as a brief illness. Cake announcing the news saying Greg was an integral part of the early sound and development. His contributions were immense. His presence, both musical and personal, will be deeply missed. And yes, another one. Tributes coming in for bassist for Blondie, a man named Fred Smith, dying at the age of 77. He was a natural. If you were a lover of melodic bass lines and counterpoint, you could go to school on what Fred created so effortlessly. This shared by his former bandmates. And that is it for your music news this morning. Big game 60 yesterday, bringing people together, right? Gathering to eat some barbecue or some other big game snacks, gathering together to watch this sport take place, the pinnacle of achievement, the battle between two different camps. As well, a lot of people watching for the commercials and the movie trailers, which, we didn't get a huge number of, but we got some. I'll have to post some of those on the blog as well at some point. But Super Bowl 61 has been scheduled for February 14th, 2077 or 2027. And speaking of bringing people together, I'm just thinking maybe probably be a pretty good idea to if you've got somebody to celebrate Valentine's Day with, not this year, you probably got that figured out, but with next year on the horizon, you might want to start having that conversation now.
Tuesday.
Happy birthday to me, actually. To me this morning. It is mine. I'm turning 39 today, almost 40, but not quite. In thinking about what I wanted to do to celebrate this year, it's funny how much I regress to thinking about birthday parties when I was growing up. I haven't been thinking about the parties of the last decade or anything like that would make more sense. Going like way back. I guess it's part of getting like to middle age. I remember one year, I just had a few friends over. There were chips, there was cake, there were video games, and there were great times had. So I'm going to do the very same thing for this birthday. I figured I'd just keep the strategy very, very simple. One memory that does stick from that particular childhood birthday, though, was that my folks got me a 12-pack of Coke, like just cans of Coca-Cola. It was for the small party, it was so that it could be shared with the people that were going to be gathering, but it was included like a birthday present. I think they even wrapped it and everything, so I just took it as well, that's mine. And I think I drank most of that 12-pack myself that very day. Not something I'd recommend for kids now, but back then sugar was still a friend to children. When you hit the button beside the music news intro. But we do have a couple of stories for you. One, for instance, having to do with the big Super Bowl party and the halftime show that so many people watched versus the Turning Point USA one that some watched. Maybe about 1/10 of the number, if those were all actual genuine viewers. But some footage happens to show that over at President Trump's Super Bowl party, looks like what was on TV was actually Bad Bunny's halftime show over the other one. The one that Trump criticized. I guess he had to watch it to criticize it, but that is one of the key factors of anybody who is complaining about having seen it, is that they saw it. They chose to watch. And speaking of, Kid Rock at the Turning Point USA halftime show, the alternative option, says he was not lip-syncing there, but he does say that he was out of sync. He says they're going to record another performance in his living room so that he can answer back to all the haters. I'm sure that will show them. Kid, thank you so much. Meanwhile, we've got some good news about the future of music from Oasis, or at least specifically of Liam Gallagher. Noel, my bad. I'm confusing the brothers. But Noel Gallagher says he is in the studio now. He just has not answered whether that is solo work, session work, or the long-awaited new music album-wise from Oasis. We'll have to wait and see. That's it for your music news this morning. Red Tuesday today. After Blue Monday in January, which is total BS, by the way. It was invented by a travel agency to make you feel like you need to book a trip in the winter. I'm a little skeptical of another colorful day with a bleak meaning behind it. And I can tell you, Red Tuesday apparently is the day that you're most likely to get broken up with. I guess. I'm not really sure how that tracks. Maybe it's just a pure statistical thing. It's not really a known why. It's just more of a known phenomenon, I guess. And I haven't seen the statistics myself. I am taking it with a grain of salt. For some reason, Tuesday has significance to those who don't want a significant other for Valentine's Day. Better than on Saturday, right?
Yeah. Okay. Do you know what's a good day to break up with somebody? Any day besides Valentine's Day. What? Were you running low on dramatic irony?
Wednesday.
From country to country to country over there in Italy is ongoing. We got several days left, but if you missed it, we actually got a little Fort McMurray shout out from athlete Kelsey Mitchell, who grew up here and basically got the athlete bug while here, though she has changed disciplines a little bit in her career. She is a summer and winter games athlete. I would love to play the clip where she shouts us out, but for all the audio and video needs from the Olympics, please refer to the CBC with their exclusive broadcasting rights. She has been a champion at track cycling in the past. Now she's competing in Milan Cortino in bobsled events. Very cool. He just can't seem to be quiet about it whatsoever. We got new comments from Kid Rock about the Super Bowl halftime show. The real halftime show. He says that the show management, the NFL essentially hiring Jay-Z, who then in turn hired Bad Bunny, essentially, was a little bit of a DEI hire. Jay-Z doesn't have any pedigree or connections in the music industry whatsoever. No, definitely not. Kid Rock also went on to say that he didn't understand any of the lyrics from Bad Bunny's set. Well, there's a reason for that. It was in Spanish. It's kind of a prerequisite. You got to speak the language to understand it. That's how languages work. But there's also some news that doesn't come from an artist we play whatsoever, but still a landmark potential moment in music history. Britney Spears reportedly selling the ownership rights to everything she's made, her entire musical catalog. The rumors are that the deal went through late last year, including all kinds of gigantic hits. And the amount of money, not actually listed, but reportedly a similar landmark deal to when Justin Bieber made a deal for his music catalog for $200 million. So, that's a ton of cash. I guess we'll see if this actually comes out to be fully true, fully accurate. Now, also sad news. Tributes have been pouring in for a drummer who's no longer with us, the founding member, or a founding member rather, and drummer for the Pogues. He was on every single one of their studio albums. He even sang some vocals. Andrew Rankin, also known as the Clobberer. Bandmates shared the news, though no cause of death given. They say it's with deep sadness. They announced the passing of Andrew Rankin, drummer, founding member, and heartbeat of the Pogues. This following the death of the frontman of the band back in 23, when Shane McGowan passed away from pneumonia. That's it for your music news this morning. I'm Steve Reeve.
Morning.
Hi there. I'm looking for the names of the members of the Black Keys to give away a pair of tickets to the Black Keys in Edmonton.
Yeah, it's Patrick Carney and Dan Orbach.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I was starting to lose my mind. Nobody was giving me the correct answer here, but you did it.
Wicked.
Now I got to know what your name is, because I've got a pair of tickets for you.
Kale.
The Peaches and Cream Tour World Tour hits Rogers Place in Edmonton June 3rd, and you're going.
Wicked. All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah, awesome. Make those plans.
Transmission over. Want more Steve? New podcast episodes happen every Friday, or just tune into the Steve Reeve Show. Weekday mornings starting at 5:30 a.m. on 100.5 Cruz FM.